Okay, this is going to be a quickie. I just had to point this out to show you how flawed and unprepared this guy's mental processing is. Take a look at this video clip and you tell me if you're hearing what I'm hearing.
You know, I talk to some of these folks out here all the time, right? And I tell people, when you're in your early 20s, you're still tied to the things that you thought were cool in your teenage years.
Right.
And the best thing you could do for yourself is to cut those ties. Because, you know, you're not a teenager no more, and so that stuff is gonna have adult consequences as you keep on doing it.
Exactly.
What would you say to your 22 or 21-year-old that's, you know, still out there, you know, following those dreams of when they thought, what they thought was cool as a teenager?
I would say just grow up and go the right way. You know, finish school. Don't get into the streets because it's hard to get out.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's sound advice.
So, if you're telling people all the time, as you said, when you're in your early 20s, you're still tied to things you thought were cool in your teenage years. Things like possibly hooking up with an older man, for example. This is a clear indication that you are manipulating and taking advantage of those that haven't cut the ties because they're still mentally immature. You're admitting that they're still doing teenage shite that's going to have adult consequences. Consequences like you. This is a fucking oxymoronic paradoxical conundrum. On cam, he's literally telling you why his victims are falling victim to people like him. Because they are still mentally attached to teenage thought processes and behavioral patterns, which clearly points out the fact that manipulations are taking place. You're taking advantage of someone that's thinking with an immature mind, and the oxymoronic paradoxical conundrum comes into play when you twist the narrative of the situation that you've just admitted to being the case by saying we're adults making adult decisions. The difference, though, is you're an adult making manipulative, deviant decisions, and they're 20-something-year-old adults still making immature, tied to their teenage years, mistakes. And you just gave the snitch prints for why it's so easy for you to pull this shite off. You're taking advantage and manipulating still teenage mindsets. What would you say to 22, 21-year-old, nice touch, not going up to 23, Iana, still doing what they thought was cool as teenagers? He's literally asking a woman what advice would she give on how to prevent a him. Oh my. If you give him enough rope, he will hang himself because he's too stupid to recognize he's a self-snitcher. Instead of a rope, why couldn't it be a gun? Marcus, you have a gun.